walls are a real simple way for us to test this. So what we got here now is a scenario where we put down 7 walls, we deleted 2. So now the number of walls is less than the one that we previously had. Okay. Plywood walls is equal to, now we're setting, I think this is wrong. So if it's count is 7 and the previous was 5, I'm sorry, if the count is 5 and the previous was 7, the new one is 5. I need to say don't do this because it was less. Put this back up. So we would typically then say, okay, give them 5. I'm going to create it to an else condition. Create a Boolean in here that says skip this block. Yeah, work a full day and then come and work on this stuff. All right, so let's see. Get another variable. Skip spawn. Boolean. Put to false. Actually, you know what? That's a double negative, right? Spawn zombies. I don't like using double negatives. Back. Down here. My spawn zombies. And the other thing you got to do that it's a true, and only if in this condition it gets set to false. So it's always true. We always spawn zombies. Until the number of walls is less than the amount of walls we'd previously spawned. All right. Hang on. Details that are a little beyond the scope of dealing with the loop. But I just wanted to show you this loop. So the loop is stay in this loop until this condition occurs. And we simply are generating and decrementing. So let's do this. But I better sure as hell put some wood down on the map. Money. Started it out with some money. Stop being negative here. 8 negative. All right, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's not spawning, is it? So here's an issue, right? I got a bug. How do I debug this? Why is my stuff not working?
Attention. Building completed.
Energy. houses. Okay. Locked up. Crash. Cool. Figure out why we crashed. But there's a reason, and this is why a lot of people can't do this, because it is somewhat complicated. But once you work through it, if you watch this video from the start after I post it, you'll see the logic I went through to get to where we are. This is where we are. All right, and then we're going to figure out how to debug this. See what you're seeing. Up. Screw up. Blind you guys. But if I am running it zoomed in, I really do appreciate it if you tell me. All right. So we set a variable called myzombies equal true. That has to be configured here first. All right, all your variables that you make up by yourself that are not part of the game have to be added here, and they're either number or Boolean. Boolean means true or false. And everything that's a condition is, if it's anything that results in being true in this condition spot will execute the code associated with it. I don't put conditions in any of my execute statements, and I addressed that earlier in the video. I put them on the blocks so that this code becomes readable without having to click on every single segment. If I put a condition here, it wouldn't show up over here, and you would wonder why it's not working. And then you'd click on this and you kick yourself in the butt and say, oh, geez, I put a condition there and it doesn't show up. So you'd have to click on every. So I put the condition inside this block and the two execute statements underneath each. All right, so let me see if I can walk us through this. Maybe I'll find the bug while I'm walking through it. My wood walls is equal to the count of wood wall, which we dropped, but let's say 10, minus my wood walls, which is 0 at start. So my wood walls is now 10. If count of wood walls is less than my wood walls, so that's false because 10 is equal to 10. We're going to skip it. We're going to give the my loop counter the quantity of my wood walls. So it says spawn 10 units. So if this variable, which we set to true, if this is true, then do this loop. And the loop says generate 1 unit at generator A and go to command center. And it decrements 1 from the loop counter. And it exits. There's the problem. There's the bug. We were in a closed loop. All right, I just found the bug. It exits when my loop counter becomes less than or equal to 0. So we got into this loop, and it eventually crashed the game. It took a few days to do that, but it was stuck in this loop. So we generate a unit, we decrement, so we stay in this 10 times. I could show you how to do this if you want to do thousands, because you don't want to stay in this loop for 1,000 iterations every hour. Your game would be slow as a dog. So we'll get more complicated a little bit later on. But the fact is that next time I come in, the reason I had to do this with the multiple variables was the next time I come in, I might add 2 more walls. I don't want to add, now I'd have 12 walls. I don't want to spawn 12 zombies. I want to only spawn 2 zombies. So next time I come in this, my wood walls is now was equal to 10 because we spawned 10 zombies in the previous hour. Now the count is 12. So it's 12 minus 10, and my wood walls. Oh, another bug. Counter. Going away. Counter equals count of the wood walls minus my wood walls. And then we're going to say think I'm right now. I knew it didn't feel right before. My wood walls plus equal my loop counter. All right, go through this again. So my loop counter is initially 10 because it's 10 minus 0. My wood walls gets increased by 10. I'm going to skip this logic for now because that may not be valid anymore, but this is just trying to decide if we're less than 0, and then it resets the counters. Okay, so zombies is always true, as long as we don't get into this block. Now we loop for my loop counter, which is 10. Now we come back in. My wood walls is equal to 10, and we've dropped 2 more walls. So count of walls is 2, or is 12, minus 10, and we get the loop counter of 2. We add 2 to the 10 value. Now my wood walls became 12. All right, so now we spawn only 2 zombies. So this looks right. So now I got to check to see if I've had 12 walls and I delete all 12. Let's say I delete 10. All right, so I do a count, and the count is now 2, and it's 2 minus 12, and my loop counter is now equal to -10. I have to say, if it's a little bit simpler, my loop counter is less than 0, less than or equal to 0, I want to skip this block. All right, so if that's true, it'll execute all of these things that are indented. Now this block is not indented. So this block contains all of this stuff. This block contains these 2 lines. Then it falls out of this and goes down to this block. It does everything that's indented underneath that block. If this condition is true. If this condition is false, it skips everything in this block. There's no condition on this block, so that it will always execute it. So we're saying if my loop counter, and that means the number of zombies I want to spawn, is less than 0, then I want to reset my wood walls to the count of the actual count of the walls and say don't spawn any zombies. So in this case, it would skip this block. The next time it comes in, my wood walls would be equal to the previous amount, and it would do the same. All right, so this looks correct. Is log, open parens, and then a string. Okay, the string is terminated with a quote and then a close parens. And then we can break everything down into pieces. This is simply a string, and that'll go into the log exactly as shown. My wood walls, colon. Anything inside parentheses takes the contents of a variable and puts in this whole spot the value of that variable. So if my wood walls is 0, this would say my wood walls, colon 0. My wood walls is 10. This would say into the log, my wood walls, colon 10. The log called cxlog.txt, which is in my games, they are billions, cxlog.txt. We're going to keep an eye on this, and we're going to add some logging. So let's go back to our statement and get it correct. So if you take apart this whole string, you'd see I'm logging one variable, then number of walls, and you can put ZX code statements in there. So count wall, the ZX code statement, and then spawning. Let's go find out what those variables are. So we got, let's log that, my loop counter. Okay, so we got one. Take this whole statement, do two things. We're going to put it in before code, execute code up above this block. All right. So we're going to log into the ZX log, and we're going to keep an eye on both. But let's just see. I won't make any changes. I dropped 10 walls. Let's look to make sure scheduling. Start time is 0. Repeat time. Oh, it's every day. Not every hour. It's every day. There's our bug. So I would have had to wait a whole day to find out for the spawn. I don't want that to happen. I want it to for every hour. Anyway, we got our log statement in there. Generate. So the other thing is when you're writing the code, it's always due diligence to take the time to figure out and log it before you even try to run it. You're just saving yourself the time, right? Like it crashes, I have no idea why. Let me go read every line of code, whereas the log statement might actually tell you exactly what happened. And what we would have seen is no log statements. So it'd be like, why are there no log statements? Well, there's no log statements because you set it up as every day instead of every hour. Dumbass. All right. All right, so for every wall we put down, I'm gonna give myself some money. Gotta wait 8 hours for money. Every wall we put down, we get 1 zombie. I've done this in one of my maps where I warned the user. It was really complicated to get it done, but I warned the user on here. I warned the user.
No, I'm not pointing any fingers, but I heard somebody around.
Don't drop any walls or you're going to be sorry. And I did it 3 times in a row.
Your colony needs a mayor.
All right. Walls. No spawns. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get my money in. Loaded. Go. It won't spawn until after until after they're built. So there's 5. It changes hours. You'd see. All right, so we got 3, 4, 5, 6. The next time there should be 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, good. Did exactly, and it did it in 2 hours. Did it in 2 separate events. Okay, now I'm going to delete. Well, let's go look at the log and see if that's exactly what happened. So see what you're looking at. Okay. All right, so what I said was it came as 2 events, and here's the first, 6. And then it said there's 10. The 6 got built first, then the hour triggered. So 6 spawned. Then it said there's actually 10, spawning 4. Spawn yes. And then it said, okay, there don't spawn on any of these. All right, so what'll happen is we're going to keep this. I'm going to keep this up. I'll put it over on the side. And I'm going to delete 4 walls. All right, and we should see some action here. There we go. Okay. So all that did was that logic where it said, hey, if we go negative, reset spawning to 0 and do not spawn any zombies. So now when I add 4 more, I'll get 4. Come on. I'll get 4 zombies. I'm going to pause it next time, put them all down at the same time. All right, so we're looking at, so this is a good way of debugging, and the logic is exactly what I wanted it to be. All right, went to hour 15. I'll get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dispersed over this green area. All right, so now let's let's go absolutely insane. Out of wood.
This better be good. What? I hope you're not wasting my time.
Tell me.
All right, I don't know how many that is, but we will find out because I trust this. Reload. So now it's triggering every hour. There's the 4 that just came out, and it said spawn them. And now every hour it's saying nope, 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 nope. So let's see what happens when these are built. And they'll all finish except for these ones up here that I put down slightly after. I'll finish time. Hour 22. Hour 23. Bada bing. Yeah, baby. And let's look at our, we have to actually have this thing reload. It said there's 73. There were previously 10. So it spawned 63 zombies. We had 10 walls down there from earlier. And we added 63 walls for a total of 73. Minus the 10, it spawned 63. Coolness. So you can do this with anything. So if you're down here, like I did one map where I did this with the number of colonists divided by 10. So I said the bigger the base you grow, the more zombies you're going to get.